Good evening, everybody. Welcome to A Side of Hustle, where the goal of this channel is to move 10,000 people from stupid broke to self-defined millionaires. We're going to be talking tonight about moving from a side hustle to a business and what that process looks like. I'm going through that as we speak. I'm moving from some side hustle things into full-time business. I want to talk about a couple things that we are going to do along the way. As you come on in, please hit that like and subscribe button. Want to hear all about what sort of side hustle things you have going on, so you can just post whatever your side hustle is. Whether you're getting paid for it or not right now does not matter, but what is your side hustle? What is the thing you're working towards that you want to eventually monetize? Or what is the thing that you're working on right now, but you have a future goal of something maybe different, but you're trying to save up the money to do that? So let me know, what is your side hustle that you are working on? I'm sipping on some apple cider tonight. I don't know if I can show that. Let's see. There it is. Got some apple cider going tonight. All right. So we're going to do this. We're going to kind of talk through a couple of the basics that I want to go over regarding that. Good evening, Presley. How are you doing tonight? So I want to talk about some basics. Number one, how do you go from your side hustle to whatever it is that you want to do next? Okay, so step one is build your skills. You got to build your skills. Whatever it is that you want to do next, probably in part you're being held back right now because you don't have the actual skills to do it yet. And we could be talking some very fundamental base level skills, and I don't want this to be a shaming session. This isn't to get upset or angry at yourself. I had very, very poor social skills for a long time. And it was not until I started doing food delivery and I had to interact with a high number of strangers and figure out how to actually make those interactions somewhat pleasant that I came face to face with the fact that I did not have the skills of being able to start a basic conversation, even over the age of 40, and just never. I didn't like doing it when I was younger. I wasn't good at it, and no one ever really taught me until a friend came along a lot later in life and started helping me with understanding some of it, but I never fully built it out on my own. And so by doing food delivery, I started building some skills of my interpersonal communication with people I don't know. Now, do I have a lot to go still? Absolutely. But I am significantly stronger in doing things like maintaining eye contact, significantly stronger in being able to read people's body language. But it came with lots and lots of practice and some missteps, some embarrassing interactions along the way, because that's what life is going to bring you. But that's a skill that I needed to build that I did not have. But now that I have this skill, the thing is, when you build a skill, it becomes transferable to anything and everything that you need to do, because as you grow, then you can take the skill that you built and then you can move it on to other things. So build skills. There are other ways you can be building skills. One way is just be listening to some sort of podcast for any dead time. In other words, if you're going to be consuming content, consume content for the purpose of growing you, not for the purpose of entertaining you. And I've come face to face with a couple of things that I've been watching on YouTube that I kind of justified as being research based, but in reality, they just became entertainment based. And I'm not saying to never watch a video on YouTube just for entertainment. That's obviously not the case. I hope that sometimes when you watch me, you are entertained. But I'm just saying, as a broad perspective, be using your downtimes to consume content that is growth and skill oriented, not entertainment oriented. Okay. If there's a funny video or a viral video, take 30 seconds and watch the viral video, but don't take 2 hours scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. It's called doom scrolling for a reason, because it brings you to a place where it's whatever. Now, if you might say, okay, well, I'm just doing this because I'm going to research, then actually do it in research. Don't turn the brain off. Make sure you're engaging with that content and saying, okay, what am I going to learn? I'm going to watch this video and I'm going to say, okay, I like this short. Why did I like this short? What was it? How could I replicate that within my niche? What's a way that I could take what is there and build it into something? But be building skills. Don't waste your time. Okay. Be building your skills. All right. Number 2, service minded. Okay. Number 2 is service minded. Get that up on the screen here. Okay, be service minded. If you have been around here for long, you know that I will consistently talk about this whole idea of serve, learn, grow, adapt. You need to be service minded, and you need to be figuring out, okay, who is your avatar? Who is the person you are trying to reach? And then figure out how you can best serve them, how you can best communicate, what language you need to use, and basically how you need to have everything rotating around and functioning with that. And that was something that I have learned, is that I have to be service minded, because as soon as you start creating things for you, then everything that you do just kind of loses its impact, or at least lessens its impact. And so again, I start with food delivery because this is where I went to learn these skills. But if you go and do food delivery and it's all about you, then what do you end up doing? You end up rushing, you end up not taking care of the customer, you end up focusing on, trying to be faster than everything else, and not necessarily doing your best, and not thinking in the way that a customer would think. Okay. And so by being service minded, it totally changes things around, because now you're like, okay, how am I going to handle this situation? Put myself in the customer's shoes. What would be the way that I would want to be treated? And so if you want to build something, right? If you want to build your side hustle into a full-time hustle, or if you simply are just saving up and you want to start a new full-time thing, but you're just laying out the foundation of what your new business, what your new future income stream is going to be, I guarantee you it is going to work so much better if you focus on the service of other people. And I can tell you, as a YouTube creator, sometimes I 100% fall out of line with that. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have fun, doesn't mean you can't enjoy what you're doing, but you need to be putting together content that, if it is based on you, then it needs to at least be targeting your audience to say, okay, this is something I did and here's how I can help you. So for example, when I made my $700 in one day video, that challenge, I'm trying to make it entertaining, but I'm also trying to teach throughout that, and trying to include things in that video that are going to help the people who watch it. Because that's the goal, is that I don't just want to make an entertaining video. I'm not trying to become the Mr. Beast of food delivery, right? I'm trying to build a channel that's focused on moving 10,000 people from stupid broke to self-defined millionaires. And so if I want to help people make that move, and I'm trying to help myself make that move, in order to do that, it means constantly asking myself, what sort of things do I need to be communicating as a YouTube streamer to my audience that will accomplish the mission of what I say this channel is all about? And so trying to figure out what this looks like. And again, you're not going to hit these things perfectly, but if you do something and you start to ask yourself, not why did the YouTube algorithm not like that video? Instead, ask yourself, what am I not properly understanding about my target audience? And that's one of the things that I've been working on. And now I'm working on 2 different channels, because I've got a separate sports channel that I'm working on. And I'm finding, okay, I know the types of videos that are working on that channel, and I'm getting good engagement, but I'm not getting the conversion into the subscriptions that I want. So I've got to figure out why. I got to figure out what is going on there, that I'm getting higher engagement, higher views, but less subscriptions. And then over on this channel, I get lots of subscriptions, but I get lower engagement and lower views. So I have 2 problems for my 2 channels, and they're the exact opposite problem. And so what I need to be constantly doing is saying, okay, so there's a part of this that is serving my audience, because the feedback that I get on videos in this channel is really good, but it doesn't get sent to a broader audience. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, what am I targeting there? And then on the sports channel, my videos are going to a broad audience. They're getting good interactions, but people aren't becoming a follower of that channel. So there hasn't been that interpersonal connection on that deeper level. And then over here on this channel, there is that interpersonal connection, this depth of the channel that I've been building, but what it's missing is a broader scope and a broader reach. And so just working to fix those things, but you do that again by two parts. Step one, by building skills. You got to build the skills that you need to do, and then you need to be service minded. Okay. So those are the first two things. And then the last thing is you're a business man or woman. Okay. Even if you don't consider yourself a businessman, you are a businessman. You are a businesswoman. And so you need to start thinking of your branding. You need to start thinking about who you're all about. You need to start thinking about maximizing the time that you do. I still struggle sometimes with wasted time. I still struggle sometimes with not having my plan for the night before of what I'm doing tomorrow. And it's like I even think about it, like going into tomorrow. I have a couple of things that are pieced into tomorrow, but I haven't sat down, and I'm still working on doing this, of sitting down and saying, okay, what is my plan for tomorrow? How much of tomorrow am I going to be out delivering? Tomorrow is a different day. It's the first day of baseball practice for my son. So that's going to cut into delivery time for supper. So how much time is going to be spent on that? I've got to start thinking, like, as a business person, I've got meetings, I've got things that I'm scheduling in, I've got things that I need to accomplish. And not just within the YouTube side, not just with the food delivery side, but the eBay side, the Amazon side, the paying bills at home, the running the family, running the household, all these different things. I need to think of myself as a businessman, right? And I want you to think of yourself. Even if you don't find yourselves as a businessman or a businesswoman, you're a businessman, you're a businesswoman. You have a business that you need to run, and that business is your life. And so what you want to be doing then is, again, going back to building skills, going back to service minded, but then integrating that all within yourself, of saying, okay, I'm a business person. And especially if you're a startup, right? So this is a startup channel. This channel is bringing in roughly, roughly 50 cents to $1 a day in ad revenue. And then this channel brings in a small percentage on memberships and super chats when we have it. Okay. But that's not where I want this channel to be. And if I want this channel to grow, it's more than just throwing out random videos every day. It's about really building out every part of this channel. And that was part of the reason why I made the decision to split the sports side out, because I was just two different directions. And I tried to blend things and merge things, but it just was really targeting two separate groups. And so we would reach one group, and then we'd reach another group, and then people would subscribe, and then people would unsubscribe, and people. And so I'm basically sacrificing the growth of a single channel by spreading it out into two channels and allowing them to grow separately at their own pace at whatever it is that they need to grow at. But in the meantime, that also slows down the income that is being brought in from this channel, right? Because now I'm posting on a separate channel that does not have an income stream on it. So now I've got to build that income stream through. Now I want to take the skills that I've built from this channel of monetizing in 11 months. And my goal for my new channel, the sports channel, is to monetize in 5.5 months. I want to be monetized by the end of June. Okay. Be service minded, take the principles that I'm teaching on here, and then apply it to the channel and saying, okay, what sort of content is going to be the content that people like? And then figure out how to then keep building that and converting that. But I'm trying things that I do think will work. And then I also, and as I try different things in the sports channel than what I would try on here, then it's like, well, wait a second. What if I did a version of that video for over on this channel? So for example, on the sports channel, I did an open letter to Pete Alonso, who is a New York Mets player. He's a free agent, and I'd like the Mets to re-sign him. So I just said, let me just do that. And that video is doing really well. Why is it doing well? Well, one, it practices the principle of borrowing authority, right? It practices, and I have a video on this channel where nobody is searching for Metropolitans. Okay, that's my channel. No one's searching for that channel, but there's a lot of people searching for Pete Alonso because everybody wants to know, is he going to re-sign with the Mets? Is he going to sign somewhere else? Is he going to sit out the entire season? But so people are searching. So I can borrow that authority. And by doing an open letter for Dear Pete Alonso, then it allows my target audience to reach out. It shows I've got a slightly different take on how I would cover sports versus how a lot of other people cover sports. I'm not going to be yelling and screaming and cursing. I'm still going to take my stands. I'm going to have my hot takes, and not everybody's going to agree with everything that I say, and I won't agree with everything, but I'm going to do it in a fun, upbeat way. And so I'm taking everything that I've learned from this channel, but then putting it into a sports skin on that channel. And then within that, I'm testing and I'm pushing other things with the goal of, okay, I want this to go a whole lot faster. But in order to do that, again, I got to take the skills that I've built, be service minded, and then think of everything as a business and say, okay, look, when you're running a business, you show up every day, even if you don't want to. And so that's one of the things, like on the sports channel, like even if I don't have a great piece of content, I need to start showing up every day on that channel, even if it's just a short, even if it's just a quick little video. Um, but I need to be showing up every day. I need to be responding to comments, and I need to be earning the trust. And one of the theories that we have on the sports channel is that sports fans are very tribal, right? You're locked in, and probably most sports fans on YouTube already are subscribed to their favorite streamers, and they're probably kind of maxed out. They probably see enough content. So for me to start to gain a little bit of that market share, I've got to be able to present something that is uniquely different than what other people have. And so I do have things, right? So I have the serve, learn, grow, adapt, and I'm going to apply that over on that channel, but I'm not going to teach that on that channel because that channel is a sports focused channel. But I can teach the backside of it over here of, okay, this is how I'm doing. And so how am I serving? Well, I'm looking for niches in the sports market that are not really covered, or that I'm not seeing covered within the world of YouTube. So I'm trying to serve by creating content, by moving into areas that maybe other people wouldn't want to move into, and covering those sorts of things. And then I'm learning. How am I learning? Well, I'm looking at my analytics. I'm looking at the feedback that I'm getting. I'm seeing, okay, the views are doing really well. Like I have multiple long form videos over there that have hundreds of views. My average video over there is doing way better than the average long form video I put over here. Why? Well, because there's a much broader audience of people doing it. But like I said, I'm learning that just because I'm getting more views, just because more people are commenting, it's not leading to more people subscribing right away. And so I've got to figure out how to build the interpersonal connection. Of course, one of the ways I've built the interpersonal connection on this channel is doing lives. And so that's one of the ways that I'm going to start doing it on the new channel. And of course, it'll be easier to do lives on the new channel when I can vertical live stream, and I can even potentially dual live stream. I can do both a horizontal and a vertical live stream at the same time to double up the number of people that are getting introduced to the channel and who are seeing it, and then to start to build subscribers off of that, but do it as a sports-based YouTube channel. Okay. And then I'm growing, right? How am I growing? Again, because I'm going back to build new skills, and I got to figure out things. So I've been trying out new features. I'm trying out different things with how to make my shorts better, how to make everything function better. So that way I'm building a slightly higher quality video over time. Every video I try to improve something. I try to improve my cadence. I try to improve. So I found with the sports, I'm trying to talk faster. I'm trying not to be super scripted on the sports channel. Like I'm not scripted here tonight too, in part because I'm trying to get better at not being scripted at all. This is kind of all off the top of my head, but even on the sports channel, I'm trying to not be scripted, but it's hard because I'm not great at remembering every single stat or everything like that. So I'm trying to work on that a little bit. Okay, but I build skills, so then I'm growing in that. Then I adapt, and how do I adapt? I'm going to make the changes to the new channel that are going to fall in line with the way that I want that channel to be, and to reach the people and do that. And then I will then go right back around to, okay, under this new paradigm, now let's go through the process again. Let's serve our avatar. That's like our target person, and then figure out everything else that we want to build out on the other side of that. And so, and even on the new channel, I have a initial business plan. The goal, of course, there is to get that channel monetized with AdSense revenue and super chats and memberships and all of that. But even in the meantime, I'm starting right away with promoting my eBay store as the primary thing. So I'm taking something that I'm already doing, the eBay store, where I sell primarily baseball and football cards, and I promote it on a channel where I'm primarily talking about baseball and football. And so I already have a business strategy. Now, my eBay sales have started to pick up over the last week, coinciding with when I launched that channel. Now, could it just be because it's almost baseball season and people are buying things? It could be. But could it also be that maybe a few people, maybe a little bit of traffic is being driven? I'm going to have to go look from the eBay analytics side and see if I can find out if any traffic is being driven from YouTube. But I have a business plan of a way to take things. And then eventually, what I want to do is take some of those extra cards and do some form of a giveaway or different things to help build the channel out in that way. So build your skills, be service minded, and then you're a businessman or you're a businesswoman. Okay. And again, I'm going to just post this again for everybody because this is what the channel is all about. All right. And I think I've posted in a way that's going to serve, learn, grow, adapt. That's the freedom process. Okay. That is the freedom process that we want to work through. Serve whoever it is that is in front of you, whether it's your family, whether it's your target customer, whether it's the person you're delivering food to, whether it's whatever. Serve. Make that be the basis. Then learn more about the world around you, learn more about your business, learn more about yourself, whatever you need to do, grow, make those changes that you need to make inside of you and start to really do that. And then, those mindset changes, those heart changes, then adapt, then make that tangible things different that come out from there. So what do those changes look like when you live them out? And then ultimately, freedom. And that freedom is, again, freedom to better go back to the beginning and serve people, learn, grow, adapt. So that is the cycle. That is a freedom cycle that we practice, that I teach on this channel. It's how I got out of my downward spiral. And I believe it's a great way that you can be building your business, because you're going to keep hitting roadblocks. You're going to keep hitting roadblocks as you go through this and as you try to grow, because there's always going to be something new to learn. If your business is going to keep growing, then in order for it to keep growing, you're going to have to learn, because you're going to have to learn how to create content, or then you're going to have to learn how to advertise or run paid advertisements. And then you're going to have to learn how to hire staff. And then you're going to have to learn how to manage staff. And then you're going to have to learn how to sell your business. You're going to have to learn how to hire someone to ultimately do that. And so serve, learn, grow, adapt, freedom to go back to then serve, learn, grow, adapt again, and keep deepening and going things. And maybe NFL refs can learn from their mistakes. It's interesting. A lot of people like complaining about the refs, but there's really nobody's coming out with actual plans beyond just saying, well, they need to be full-time. I believe that probably refereeing today is much more difficult because there's so many more rules for refs to enforce. I think the best way to help the refs get back to doing their job better is to just get rid of a lot of the rules. Less rules, less penalties, less things to enforce, and just go back to just a more bare knuckles football sort of thing. So it's just, they add new rules almost every year, and it's hard to stay on top of that. But anyway, point being, go back to serve, learn, grow, adapt, freedom in your life, in your side hustle, in whatever business it is that you want to run. And so if you start doing that, then it starts changing everything, because now all of a sudden the content is, how can I best serve the person that I'm trying to reach, or the customer who's right in front of me right now, or the customer who's I'm going to be having a sit down with, or I'm going to be doing a sales pitch to, or whatever. How do I serve them? How do I hear? How do I listen to what they want? Okay. And then what do I need to learn about myself, my skill set, about the business that I want to get into? Okay. And then what things need to grow? What needs to change inside of me, in my head, in my heart? What needs to change? And what needs to change on the outside of me? How do I need to actually adapt, treat people differently? And then what does that ultimate freedom look like? And when I achieve that freedom, how can I go back to serving people even better than what I was before? So with that in mind, thank you guys for hanging out. I hope that this is inspirational and will help you really start to say, okay, if you have a side hustle that you want to grow into something bigger, or you're just running a side hustle to earn some extra money, to then start planting the seeds for the bigger thing you want to grow. It doesn't matter which one it is. If you can practice this thing, build skills, be service-minded, and then you're a businessman, you're a businesswoman, and start handling and taking care of your business like a business. even if it's only earning pennies or it's really not even earning anything right now. If you want it to be your income, if you want it to be your primary income, start treating it like a business, start trying to get all of those things done. Appreciate you so much. I'm actually going to go and be live over on the sports channel Metropolitans here in just a second. So let me just pull that link up here really quick. I want to see if I can quickly pull that up and post that for you. That's not what I wanted. Let's go. This is where I need to go. I'm going to pull that link up really quick. And we are 3 subscribers away from 50 over on the new channel. So that will allow us to start doing things. Let's see. What do I need to do? There it is. I found it. I found the link for everybody. All right. That's the link. So I'm going to be going live over there. We're going to be talking Baseball Hall of Fame voting. So I'm going to go live over there in about 3 minutes. That is our new sports channel. It's where everything is going. And so I'm going to be talking Hall of Fame, and we're going to talk about who was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame and some Hall of Fame voting changes that I want to see done. And I'm just going to do another live over there. I'm going to just keep pushing the lives over there. But I appreciate you guys here. Thank you all. Have a great night.